I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Everything in my life is going fine. I'll be happy when we meet again. You know, I'll be smiling when we meet again. That little ditty is not as catchy as, say, Louie Louie. It doesn't have the tune recognition as It's a Small World. And there's no Eddie Mercury or air guitar in there. But it's a little ditty that's been popping into my head frequently since I attended the Toastmasters convention in Spokane, which was, of course, the outbreak of the epidemic of earworms. It just kept popping in my head. All throughout the convention, it's been popping in my head since then. I was sure I had earworms. I went on WebMD, looked at all the little diagnostic steps. Is it popping in your head in opportune moments? Yes. Does it have a memory associated with it? Yes. Is it annoying to you? No. It wasn't earworms. After thinking about it for a while, I discovered it was actually something very different. For lack of a better term, I'll call it a gift from an angel. I'd like to share that with you today for this holiday season. Singing and music was the last thing on my mind that February morning in 2009 when I was driving to Providence, Mount St. Vincent to see my mom. She'd been battling leukemia for 13 years, and she was getting toward the end of her life. It was my turn to relieve the caregiver, Ricky, from her shift. And I showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and Ricky was there trying to get my mom to get out of her pajamas. My mom in her pajamas at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was unheard of. She was tired. She sat there in the recliner with her eyes closed, wouldn't even budge when Ricky tried to get her to put on some clothes. She just had her robe on. I'd never seen my mom in her pajamas at 8 o'clock in the morning. Never. I knew something was wrong. And so when I went up to talk to her, I said, "Hey, Mom, it's me." And you said that would be greeted with a smile. She opened up her eyes and said, "Hi." Closed them. That was not my mom. At the same time, Annette, a nurse with 30 years experience, came around the corner. She had my mom's chart in her hand. She was looking at it. She looked at my mom, did a double take, and pointed, "Where's your clothes?" I said, "I don't know." She looked at Ricky and she said, "Has she been drinking?" Meaning tea, not food. Ricky said, "No." "Has she been talking?" "No." "Has she been eating?" "No." Annette was worried. It's the first time I'd ever seen Annette without a smile on her face. Usually Annette was the one that was the life of the party. She'd come in and she'd give my mom a bad time about being from Ireland. And she'd pretend that she was from Ireland too. And she'd say, "Top of the morning to you, Margarine." And my mom would say, "Oh, that's a fakey Irish accent." And I always got a good laugh out of her. This particular morning, Annette sat there, looked at the room, took a deep breath, and came running into the room. "Top of the morning to you, Margarine." My mom opened her eyes. "What's that?" "It's Annette. It's Annette, your buddy from the wee Ireland." "It's just Annette the nurse," my mom said to me. "Just Annette the nurse? I'm Annette O'Hara from the wee land of the leprechauns." My mom just rolled her eyes and closed her eyes and ignored her. No comment about the fakey Irish accent. Nothing. Even Annette was concerned. She took a look at my mom's chart and did her best to try to get my mom up and going that morning. But my mom would hear nothing of it. Finally, Annette said, "Well, Margarine, you know what today is, don't you?" My mom said, "No." "Today is the day that you are hosting high tea for the second floor." My mom's eyes popped open like she'd been hit with a bullet. What? You're hosting high tea today, Marjorie. We're showing everybody what Ireland is all about. My mom said, we don't have high tea in Ireland, that's England. Every country's mixed up. And I said, well, whatever. We're still having high tea. It's at 2 o'clock today. You need to get up and get dressed because we have the whole second floor coming into your room at 2 o'clock today. My mom ignored her. And then said, you better get up. We have the hairdressers coming in at noon. You better be ready. My mom didn't say a word. And that left. Mom still didn't say a word. She was tired. I'd never seen her that lethargic and without spirit. She was a lady from Ireland who would talk and talk and talk and talk. She thought she was a wee bit of a celebrity because of her little Irish accent. She was usually the life of the party. And here she was, sitting in that recliner, no life to her whatsoever. The phone rang. It was Sheila from the hairdressing salon downstairs, reminding Mom of her 12 o'clock appointment to get her hair done. That woke Mom up. She grabbed her little calendar and looked at it. She didn't have an appointment written down. All of a sudden she started thinking, maybe I did agree to have high tea. I don't know. Maybe my memory's going bad. Catherine, did we agree to have a high tea? I said, well, apparently so. Mom was up and about in an instant. She didn't want people coming in with her pajamas on. Mom got up, ate her breakfast, got on clean clothes. The ladies came in, did her hair. The chef came in and asked her about the finger sandwiches. Did they have to have the crust cut off them or not? It was a big production. 2 o'clock came, and the people started filtering in. All of the residents from the second floor. There was Betty O'Bosey. There was Jack O'Bertinelli. Everybody had an O from their names. It was the Irish contingent. Mom had a ball. I ran around serving finger sandwiches. They had Baileys for the coffee, the whole 9 yards. It really wasn't tea, it was actually Irish coffee. Everyone had a good time for 2 hours, nonstop. And then that just kept popping in, checking to see how things were going, and she'd pop back out. About 4 o'clock, it was my turn to leave. Ricky was coming back in for her shift. Annette came in the room. I said goodbye to my mom, grabbed my laptop, and made a beeline for the door. And Annette stopped me. She said, Catherine, wait a second. I said, what? She took me by the shoulders and she turned me around and she had me face the room. And she said, take this moment to take in this moment. I didn't know what she meant. So I sat there looking at the room, all the chaos, all the noise, the singing, the food, the laughter. And I took it all in. And after a minute, she said, thank you. And she left and I went home. That little song that keeps popping in my head, there's a reason for it. Take a moment to take in this moment. The first time it came to my head during the convention was when Lloyd came off the stage after giving his speech. He walked over to the table, he sat down, he said, I don't think I could have done it any better than that. And we were so excited. We were so proud because we knew he had won first place. It was so good. And all I could think of was, I wish his wife was here to see that. I wish we would have had a video of this to capture that moment of pride that he had. The second time was when he won the award, and they announced it. And he came off the stage. And I kept thinking to myself, I hope he's taking in this moment. I hope he's looking around and seeing all these people and taking that in and capturing that moment for later. And it's been that way for the last couple of weeks. As I meet with people, talk with people. With the chaos of the holidays, everyone's running around, Christmas shopping, and things get so crazy, people forget to stop and take a look around and be present in the moment. Take a moment to take in this moment. And that's so important. I found that out because when I went home that night from my mom, I never saw her, I never spoke to her again. She went to sleep that night, and she didn't wake up. But I don't feel bad when I think about it. Because every time I think of my mom, I think of that last memory, that point frozen in time. It's like a little snapshot in my head. Her sitting there with all her friends, singing and laughing, oblivious to the pain, alive, her eyes bright and smiling, and saying, I've got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Everything in my life is going fine, fine, fine. I don't know where I'm going or how and when, but I know I'll be smiling when we meet again. I know I'll be smiling when we meet again. Mr. Toastmaster.